So let's give this a go. Welcome to my first ever Ask Martin property clinic thing. Also available on YouTube and a podcast. If you're listening on a podcast, hello. It is available on YouTube if you want to see what I look like when I'm struggling my way through this rubbish. Then tune into my YouTube channel. And if you're listening on a podcast, I hope you're enjoying your safe drive, walk, trip to work, or whatever you're doing. And yeah, we can make this a regular feature if you like it, if you subscribe to the channel, if you do all those things that you need to do at this particular medium. You'll know what they are a lot more than me. I am a dinosaur when it comes to this kind of stuff, but I do know a lot when it comes to talking about property. Now, this is my Ask Martin bit, okay? Ask Martin Property Clinic. Now, intrinsically, it is a property clinic, so probably most of the questions will be about property. But it doesn't have to exclusively have to be that. So if you want to know about Homes Under the Hammer, if you want to know about just random stuff, then just let me know. And you can tweet at TV Martin Roberts. You can go on my website, martinroberts.co.uk, or you can follow whatever links you follow to get to wherever you're looking at this on, to send me some questions. I'm going to try and do this at least once a week. More if anyone's interested, but you might not be. Oh, I'm really putting myself out there. Oh, okay, let's go on with it. Question number 1. This is from Phil in Morecambe. Martin, we're moving to Morecambe in the near future. So he's not actually from Morecambe, he's moving to Morecambe. Moving to Morecambe in the near future, planning to sell our house as quickly as possible. Can you give me tips on how to make it more sellable? Okay, well, the big thing when it comes to making your house ready for market is that you've got to depersonalise it as much as possible, because people do not want to walk into a house that they think is owned by somebody else. I mean, it's crazy kind of thing, but if you have socks lying around, if you've got pictures of the family on the mantel shelf, you know, you've got to make this so appealing as a kind of property that these people could end up living in. So depersonalise it. Get rid of your clutter. That's the first thing to do. Secondly, just really try to think about what it was that attracted you to that house when you bought it and accentuate those features, right? And finally, why don't you think about creating a kind of information pack? You know, we go to a hotel and there's that little pack which says about local attractions and stuff like that. Why don't you create like one of those for your house as you're selling it? The local parks, the local attractions, the bus routes, how good the local schools are. Maybe if there's like an Ofcom report or something like that. Ofcom? No, that's not right. It's Ofsted, that's it. Ofsted report about the local school. Get people to see what it was about that house that makes it so attractive. Thank you, Phil, for your question. Okay, this is a question from Antonio. Hello, Antonio. He says, what is the most expensive house you've done on Homes Under the Hammer after it was renovated? Well, you know what? I think Lucy did a load of really expensive ones because they were all in London. Now, I didn't used to get to London as often, but we have definitely had some London properties that have just done amazingly. I think there was one I remember, probably in Kensington or somewhere. It was a ground floor flat, and I worked out pounds per square foot compared to a property I'd seen in somewhere in Manchester, Greater Manchester, the week before. It was like you could have bought a square of the kitchen about 1 metre by 1 metre for the amount that this property cost. But you know what? That people invested big. They did it up, and I think they made over £1 million on this particular house. I mean, just crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay. Okay. This comes from Stokey. Hello, Stokey. He says, or she says, with a lump sum to invest, would you do up and sell on or buy to let? Well, you know what? Without knowing all your personal details, it's hard for me to absolutely advise on that. And I should say at this point, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not licensed to give financial information. So you really do need to seek the support and advice of a professional, such as a solicitor and an accountant, before you make financial decisions, which could go up as well as down. Is that clear? Good. Anyway, yes, with a lump sum to invest, would you buy up, do houses, blah, blah, blah. So if I had a lump sum to invest, well, a option, if you buy in the right place, is to buy up a house and rent it out. the yields you can get if you buy sensibly are like, well, I know people who are getting 10, 12, 15% yield. Just to remind you, yield, if you've got £100,000 worth of investment, 15% yield would generate you £15,000 a year. That's pretty good going, especially when you think about what you're going to get in the building society or any other investments at the moment. So, of course, property prices can go up as well as down. But, so if you can get a good property for a reasonable yield, that's definitely something that you consider. However, another strategy might be to do your research, buy yourself a really good house or bungalow or flat or piece of land, and then sell it on, having refurbished it or built on it. Again, if you do your research properly, that's definitely an option to consider. Oh, Jeff. Hello, Jeff. He says, what's your best DIY skill? What's your worst? Best DIY skill. Well, I have to say, I'm quite good at building kind of rough stuff. So I like outdoor things like sheds and places for the kids to play. Stuff where you can mess it up a bit and it doesn't have to be precise. And you can still get away with it. So I've got like about, I don't know, lots and lots, far too many according to my family, sheds. So I've really enjoyed building them. Worst DIY skill, plastering. It's a dark art. How do they do it? I don't know. They just come along to a wall with this goopy kind of pink stuff. They splash it on, and next thing you've got a flat surface. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. So yeah, plastering's the worst. Building sheds is the best. It's I don't know that one. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, Daniel. Why is stamp duty such a massive pain? It's a really painful tax to pay, I have to say. And when you're working hard to save money for a property you're thinking about buying, it's just that little bit extra that can really make it tough. However, it is a tax. It's there. It generates the government funds. And whether we like it or not, for the time being, it's there. You just got to like it and lump it, I'm afraid, or not like it and lump it. Okay, Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for getting in contact. Is there anywhere you haven't visited on Homes Under the Hammer but would like to? Well, you know what? Over 17 years, I have literally travelled the length and the breadth of that country. From the top end of Scotland, we went out to the Orkney Islands once. I'll tell you a very funny story about the Orkney Islands. We arrived on a plane in the Orkney Islands. And the man who obviously was the baggage handler, the air traffic control, the runway person who does that thing where they wave the planes in, he does all those things. He met us. And as I came down the off the steps of the aircraft, it's one of these old-fashioned things where you step down the laddery type thing. He actually said, you're that bloke off the television, aren't you? Excuse the Scottish accent. You're that bloke off the television, aren't you? I went, yes. And he said, you're a lot bigger than you look on television. I went, oh, okay, thank you very much. He said, and with this mind-bogglingly brilliant wit, said, but you know what? I've only got a 14-inch television set. Maybe it was Ireland we were in. Oh, I can't remember anyway. Well, the concept's still the same. Anyway, where would I like to visit? And we haven't visited. We have visited virtually everywhere. Never been to the Isles of Scilly. Here they're absolutely beautiful, so I'd quite like to go there. MTD, hello MTD. Do I miss Lucy? Oh, I miss Lucy. Yes, I miss Lucy. I miss Lucy. Now, what's this one? Pete. Hello, Pete. He says, what happened to the Liam Gallagher look? And there's like an emoji of like a cowboy thing. Now, on one occasion, I do remember wearing a kind of cowboy jacket, and I got the mickey taken out of me absolutely mercilessly. So I don't wear the cowboy jacket anymore, but what is the Liam Gallagher look? I don't know. What is it? Anyway, well, as you know, I am a, what's the word? An icon of sartorial elegance. A fashion icon. Actually, I'm no joking apart. Somebody did actually say that I was a fashion icon the other day. I laughed so much. Don't think so. Still, very sweet if you think so. Okay. Dillis. Hello, Dill. Have you ever come across anything nasty in an empty house? Like maybe a crime has happened? Well, I will tell you, in 17 years doing the show, there have been 2 occasions where we've been in a house And me and the film crew have just gone, we have got to get ourselves out of here. This is bad. There was just a feeling really spooky. On what occasion we were actually filming in this place where it, well, I'll tell you the punchline in a minute, but we were just filming there and there was a dangly light socket thing. And halfway through the interview, I was interviewing the new buyers, this light bulb fell from the light socket, which is spooky in its own right? But it fell 3 feet away from where it should have fallen if it had just normally followed the course of gravity. Subsequently, this transpired that the person who previously owned the house had died in that room. Nasty. Oh, my favourite story ever, though. We did go to a house once, but the people had left in such a hurry, they'd forgotten to take Grandad with them. No, he wasn't dead, he was sleeping, but he was awoken by this film crew going, hi, and him going, where's me family? And he didn't have any teeth in and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they left in such a rush they forgot Grandad. Some people have contacted from us from Penzance, have contacted me from Penzance. Would I like, because I said, somebody else asked last week where my favourite kind of property would be, and I said it would be somewhere overlooking the sea, and they said, how about a property overlooking St Michael's Mount? If you've never been there, it's in Devon, it's absolutely gorgeous. So, or is it, sorry, it might be Cornwall. It's Cornwall, near Penzance, I think. Yeah, oh, that would be amazing. And that's it. So, listen, I'm here for you to quiz. This is Ask Martin. This is my property clinic. If you've been listening on a podcast, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, tell your friends. Otherwise, I'll very quickly get disheartened and won't do this again. Seriously, have a good time, whatever you're doing. Mwah.